I just finished another section and then I received a call, answering a call. So only now I have the chance to open the file for you all. Crazy, like this start live. So luckily, please agree with me. Okay, so today we have 1 hour class. Let me sorry, I need to respond one message. Because my PhD students, problem, kesian dia orang. Because of COVID-19, right? My international students PhD nak balik kampung pun tak boleh, tak balik pun tak ada duit nak bayar yuran. So how? What can I help? Problem, right? Anyone want to help him? Boring lah cakap dengan kelas ini kan. Orang. Okay, so we suppose have how many students in our class? We suppose have I can't remember lah, but how many here? Oh, 20, not bad. Everyone here, good. Right. So there'll be no class next week, and we'll be back on the week after next. So today, let me share the slides. I don't like 1 hour class, to be fair. Dia tak efektif tau. Kalau nak start saja sekejap dah end. So linear programming. In chapter sengit lah. In chapter 2, we talk about linear programming, but the linear programming that we discussed in chapter 2 are dealing with mixed what? Mixed what, anyone?
Product.
Yes, thank you very much. Mixed product. Then chapter 2, we focus on maximizing profits. Maximizing profit. And then subsequently, yesterday, correct? Yesterday we talked about chapter 3A. It's also linear programming. It's also focusing on mixed product, but we sort of explore the scenario of minimizing costs. This is profit. And both we are representing by Z. So today, chapter 3B, we're still discussing linear programming, but we're going to move to another model of linear programming. No more mixed product. Let's talk about transportations. Transportation model, I would say it's complicated. I would say it's the constraint, the objective function, the variable is a bit lengthy. Okay, a bit lengthy compared to mixed product. Dia panjang sikit. Dia bukan complicated, dia panjang sikit. And then the way that we develop might be slightly different from mixed product. So let's start with look into macam mana nak develop transportation model today. And we're still under linear programming. However, we have done linear programming model for maximizations and minimizations of mixed product. Now we are here. We're going to explore further linear programming for transportations. All right. Oh, we forgotten that. There's one important thing we forgotten. What is that we forgotten?
Record.
Betul lah. Bila saya terlupa baru orang kata recording. Alright, so we're going to talk about linear programming for transportations today. So linear programming, transportation model we are going to view transportation from the perspective of transportation. That we're going to view transportation from the perspective of customer. Customer mean I'm the customer that looking for a transportation company to deal with my transportation problem. We are not going to view the transportation problem as the owner of the transportation company. Therefore, the objective untuk transportation model, agak-agak what is that? Objective, as I told you, objective there are only two, like maximizing profits or minimizing cost. So agak-agak transportation model, we are going to set objective of maximizing profit or minimizing cost. Agak-agak. Yes, minimizing cost. Why? Because as I told you earlier, like we're going to view transportation model as a customer. Saya customer yang minta transport company, okay, deal with the transportation problem for me. So I want to make sure that the cost of the transportation is minimum. So in the scope of our modules, we are not going to talk about maximizing profit. So it's only minimizing cost. Okay, this is the first difference between mixed product and transportation model. Mixed product dia boleh maximizing profit, dia boleh minimizing cost. But for transportation model, we are only interested on minimizing cost. So what is transportation model? Transportation model, kalau lah example, if I involve a transportation model, example, sending goods or product from one location to another location. From one location to another location. This original location, we can call it as a source. Or we can call it supply. It depends on book. Tapi regardless, you call S or supply, it start with S. Representing by F. Source or supply is the original place that you want of the transportation. So transportation model melibatkan hantar barang daripada source kepada another location yang kita panggil D. D could be refer to demands or could be refer to destination, destinations. Or also representing by demands, by D. So transportation model involve source atau supply and demand or destination. And our objective ialah untuk minimize cost. Tetapi, example, it only involve one source and one demand. Katakanlah saya nak hantar something daripada JB ke KL. If my objective is to minimize cost, I no need to use linear programming. What? It's because to minimize the cost of sending or transporting a goods from JB to KL, what I need to do is I look for different transporter. Logistic company 1, logistic company 2, logistic company 3. I ask for their quotations. Then I choose the cheapest. If this is 1,000, this is 800, this is 700. I choose the cheapest. Dah lah, nak minimize the cost. So what I try to tell you is transportation model kalau hanya one source and one destination, no need to use linear programming. You only need to use linear programming when you have a scenario that you have number of sources of supply, you have number of destinations. Then you need to apply linear programming for transportation. Faham so far? Okay. Example yang kita discuss in week 1, I think I still remember we're talking about cake shop owned by Chris. We say that Chris mungkin ada kilang buat cake. We say in JB, dekat mana? Dekat KL, dekat Penang example. So this is the source because this is the factory that making the cake. And this cake is sending to a few retailer. It could be a retailer at mana? At Pahang, at Melaka, at Ipoh, then where else? Terengganu. Okay. Terengganu. So these are the destination. So transportation model yang melibatkan linear programming involve multiple source. Not necessarily balance. It could be 3 source, 4 demands. It could be 2 source, 3 demands. It could be 3 source, 3 demands. So the objective is to minimize cost. This is objective dia sebenarnya ada dua. Dia bukan minimize cost saja. Objective nak minimize cost. If we want to minimize cost, what will be the solution in the end? Apa yang kita nak cari in the end? We want to define JB perlu hantar berapa kek ke Pahang. JB perlu hantar berapa kek ke Melaka, ke Ipoh, ke Terengganu. Kilang dekat KL perlu hantar berapa kek kepada Pahang, Melaka, Ipoh dan Terengganu. Kilang dekat Pening perlu hantar berapa kek kepada Pahang, Melaka, retailer at Pahang, Melaka, Ipoh dan Terengganu supaya cost transportation is the lowest, is the minimum. Okay. So the solution at the end of day kan, bila kita dah solve solution transportation, kita akan dapat jawapan JB hantar certain amount of cake to each destination. That's the answer they want to get. So untuk kita dapat answer ini, there's another information that we need that we call transportation cost. Wah, ini ialah bila saya hantar kek satu lori daripada JB ke Pahang, cost dia berapa? When sending from JB to Melaka, cost dia berapa? JB ke Ipoh, cost dia berapa? So untuk setiap ini, I need to know the cost. So I recap. Before I recap, I finish everything once on the recap. So far faham? So far is it okay? Okay. So saya dah cerita objektif. Objektif ialah minimizing cost. So in the end, we are able to answer questions of kilang dekat KL perlu hantar berapa kek ke Pahang, Melaka, Ipoh dan Terengganu. That is objective. How about constraint? What are the constraints that we have in the linear programming model for transportation? Setiap source dengan setiap demands ada constraint dia. Example kilang dekat JB saying that I can produce 1,000 cake. KL I can produce 1,500 cake. Penang I can produce 500 cake. So all this is the constraint of the capacity at the source. Kalau if kilang dekat JB only can produce 1,000, then the constraint is jumlah kuantiti kek yang dihantar daripada JB ke Pahang, Melaka, Ipoh, Terengganu tak boleh lebih daripada 1,000. Kalau 1,000 maksudnya tak dapat supply lah. Okay, so this is the constraint from the source perspective. Same thing apply kepada KL dengan Penang. Penang, jumlah kek yang hantar dari Penang kepada Pahang, Melaka, Ipoh, Terengganu tak boleh lebih daripada 500. Okay. Then, another constraint yang kita ada ialah dekat demand. Mungkin dekat Ipoh setiap hari dia perlu hanya example 400 kek. So this is another constraint. This constraint means kek yang dihantar daripada JB, KL ke Penang, kek yang dihantar dari JB, KL dan Penang ke Ipoh tak boleh lebih daripada 400. Kalau tak, dia tak dapat jual. Tak boleh kurang daripada 400. Kalau tak, nanti dia tak cukup untuk jual lah. So that is another constraint. Okay, to recap. If I go too far masih boleh faham tak? Saya dah cerita objektif, saya dah cerita constraint. Okay. Apa lagi saya nak cerita? Okay. So, transportation model ada 2 jenis 3 senario. Apa maksud saya 2 jenis 3 senario? there are two type of transportation model. One is example here. You see, dekat source, dekat kilang, at the source, the numbers of cake that can produce in total is 1,000 plus 1,500 plus 500 means it's 3,000. The total supply is 3,000. Okay. The first scenario, if I total out the demand here, kalau saya total out berapa yang perlu hantar ke Pahang, ke Melaka, ke Ipoh, ke Terengganu, kalau saya campurkan total, if the demand is also 3,000, then we say this model is a balanced model. Balanced model. Example yang I'm going to share with you later on in today's class is a balanced model. There's also a scenario that demand is not equal to supply. Okay, it could be like this. It could be demand supply must say 3,000. However, demand where we total out is 3,000 is 2,500. In this case, where should I write? The supply is more than demand. Okay, supply is more than demand. The impact will be sekarang maybe tak apa, the impact will be symbol yang nak pakai dekat constraint akan tak sama. Symbol yang pakai dekat constraint akan tak sama. This one I'm going to show you in the example. This is the second scenario. Scenario number 2. This scenario number 1, balance model. Scenario number 3 will be supply less than demand. Okay. Scenario number 1, demand and supply, the quantity sama. Then we call it the balance model. Scenario number 2 and 3, supply and demand tak sama. We call it unbalanced model. Unbalanced model, scenario number 2 ini senang sikit. Sebab the supply is more than demand. But if you come to scenario number 3, supply is less than demand, then in order to develop the linear programming, then a bit difficult. You need to use a dummy. Okay. Now, ada soalan? Tak takut saya explain terlalu cepat? Chris, any problem? Want to ask? No question. That's so far understand. Sebenarnya saya, in fact, I summarize what is going to discuss in the next few slides. So in the next few slides, I'm going to sort of show you the slide on what I have explained. Number 1, this is does each source able to supply a fixed number of unit of product, and each destination has a fixed number of demand. Apa maksudnya as I mentioned earlier in transportation model is dealing with multiple supply, multiple demand, and each supply have fixed number of capacity, and each demand have fixed number of requirement. Macam Melaka, Ipoh dia nak 400, Melaka maybe nak 300, so there's a fixed number. And subsequently, example in this case, I'll change color, change the different color better. Okay, source, you have 3 sources, S1, S2 and S3. Dekat source yang pertama can produce 5 ton lah example. Then source kedua 4 ton and source ketiga 6 ton. So every source, every supply has a fixed number unit of the product. And every destination have fixed number of demands. So destination 1 dia perlu 5 ton. Destination 2, 3 and then followed by destination 3 and 4. And this demands or this number is also subsequently become the constraint of the supply. Means total amount of product yang boleh hantar daripada S1 maximum 5, tak boleh lebih daripada 5. Okay. Total amount of product received by D1 must be 5 and cannot be less or more than 5. That is the slide say. And then second thing saying that if the demand is same as the supply, mean example 5, 5 plus 4 plus 6 is 15. 5 plus 4 plus 6 equal to 15. Here is 5, 3, 5, 2 is also 15. In this case, supply and demand is equal, then we call it as a balanced transportation model. Okay. If either the source is more than the destination or the destination is more than the source, then we call it unbalanced model. The example that I'm going to discuss today is a balanced model. However, the tutorial that you're going to do is an unbalanced model. Okay. What else in the slide? Okay. Already 12:20. 1 hour is not effective. Mana ada masa nak discuss tutorial. Okay. Remember in mixed products. Are you still there?
Yes, still here.
Betul.
Mixed products, saya advise you kalau nak solve mixed product, the first thing you should do is to draw the table, like, am I right? That is mixed product. When it comes to transportation, like, okay, same thing. We're going to show you the problem in the work document. So in the work document, you have to convert into a model. So for transportation model, I would strongly suggest you try to convert the problem into this model. Mean example, you're reading the problem. The problem says that Chris on the cake shop. Chris on 3 factory of making cake. One located in KL. They write KL here. One located in JB, another one in Penang. Then perhaps the subsequent sentence sound this way, saying that the factory in KL is able to produce 1,000 cake per day. Then you write 1,000 here. And the cost of delivering a lorry of cake to destination 1, which is Malacca, is 300 ringgit. You try to feed the detail into this sort of like this frameworks. You'll make your life easy for you to develop linear programming. So pendek kata, in mixed product, you use a table. In transportation, perhaps this will be the best way for you to record down or to use as a mean to transform the problem into a mathematical model. Okay. Then at the end of the day, bila kita dah solve the linear programming model for transportation, what we want? We want the solution like this. Example, this is example of solution. Solution dia kata, okay, the source number one capacity is 5, can produce 5 ton. And solution ialah hantar 4 ton from source 1 to destination 1, hantar 1 ton from source 1 to destination 3, dan jangan hantar apa-apa daripada source 1 ke destination 2 and 4. This is something that we want in the end of the day. And another example, this example showing that kilang number 2, source number 2 able to produce 4 ton. This 4 ton, 1 should send to destination 1, 3 to send to destination 2, don't send anything to destination 3 and 4. Okay, that is what we mean by solution for transportation. But for today, we're not going to develop the solution. Today, we're only going to develop the linear programming model. Okay. So, long story. So let's look at the example. 10:30. 12:30. Yeah. Okay. Again today, as I mentioned, we're only going to develop the model. We're not going to develop the solution. We're only going to develop the model. And this is the example. Okay, this is the example. And because this is the example, first example, so again, to help you to make your understanding to to make you have better understanding, we have the diagram there to show you. This model is showing that a whip that produced by a Gray elevator in Kansas City, Omaha, the moines are shipped to the 3 mills in St. Louis, Cincinnati, and Chicago. So which one is the source? Which one is the destination? Mana satu source, mana the destination? Source is which one? Source which one? No. Cincinnati is one of the demands, one of the destination. Omaha and then City and yes, Des Moines. Huh? So basically these three are source. And these three are the demand. Dia senang sebab ada gambar ni tau, tapi jangan harap ada gambar ni masa exam atau ada test, tak ada. So you see, Kansas City, the picture also look different lah. So this Kansas City, Omaha and Des Moines basically are the source of the supplies, And the number here representing their capacity means in Kansas City is able to produce 150 tons of wheat. Okay, and then followed by Omaha 175 tons and Des Moines 275. Okay, so these are the source. Then dihantar ke mana? Send to 3 mills. I think for further processing to grind. These 3 mills are basically Chicago, and then Chicago are capable to grind 200 tons, and Cincinnati is 300. Maybe I use different something here, and then St. Louis 100 tons. So we are sending from source to demand. So there will be certain amount of which should be sent from, example, Omaha 175 kan. Kita nak tahu, in the end apa yang kita nak tahu? Okay, kita habiskan soalan dulu lah. Okay, what information yang tak ada dekat sini? There's one important information that not available here. Cost, exactly. We want to know the cost. We want to know that how much it costs to deliver or transport wheat from each source to each destination, and the information are given here. Maksudnya, kalau saya hantar 1 tan, okay, 1 tan, why I say 1 tan? Where's my, okay. Yeah, 1 tan. If I hantar 1 tan of wheat from Kansas City to Chicago, it cost me $6. If I hantar, example, 1 tan from Omaha to Cincinnati, then it costs $11. So this information are given. And what you want to do is you want to identify how many tons that should be transported for each grind elevator, means from the source to each mill, which is the demand. But it's not only simply define berapa nak hantar from the source to demand. You have to define in such a way that at the end of the day, the total cost of the transportation is minimal. You get what I mean? Faham? Faham soalan ini tak? Yang lain faham? Faham. Thank you very much. Okay, so next, what you want to do? So these are the information. These are information. Okay, so this model is a balanced model, right? Sebab kalau saya total up the demand from the supply quantity and the demand quantity, they are balanced. So this is the balanced model. So balanced model, later in constraint, I'm only going to use equal. I'll tell you later. Okay. So the first thing you need to check is whether the model is it balanced. In this case, the model is a balanced transformation model. So next, kita dah cerita ni banyak kali, many time. The mathematical model consists of 3 elements. Number one is apa dia? Semalam baru cerita mathematical
Okay.
model. Bukan objektif yang kedua. Decision variable, correct. So how many decision variable that we have for this transportation problem? Berapa decision variable yang kita ada? Satu,
Three.
dua, tiga. Darifah, berapa yang kita ada? Agak three. What are the three?
The spy is
More than three. The answer is more than three. Anyone want to try? Berapa decision variable yang kita ada? What is the questions of the soalan dia penat gila. Soalan dia nak tanya how many ton of the goods of the width should be transport from each source to each destination. Berapa tan nak hantar daripada Kansas City ke Chicago? Berapa tan nak hantar daripada Kansas City ke St. Louis? Berapa tan nak hantar daripada sini ke sini? Berapa tan nak hantar daripada Omaha ke Chicago? Berapa tan nak hantar daripada Omaha ke St. Louis kepada Cincinnati? How many tan want to send from Des Moines to Chicago ke St. Louis ke Cincinnati? Berapa? How many line that have draw?
9.
9. Oh, tepat sekali 9. Means there are 9 decision variable. How you going to write the decision variable? 9, no? Gila kan? So you can write in two way lah. If you follow the one that we learned yesterday, then perhaps you're going to write in this way. Which is number 1. You can write number 1 X. But now I cannot call X1, X2, X3 sebab susah nak define tau. So normally what we do is in this case, supply dia ada 3 source. Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. So I represent each source by a number. 1 is Kansas City, 2 Omaha, and 3 Des Moines. And then the demands, the mail will be representing by alphabet. A, Chicago, B, St. Louis, C, Cincinnati. So X 1 A equal to amount lah. Amount with transports from Kansas City to Chicago. Oh, crazy, eh? Then I need to write the second one. What is the second one? Amount of width from Kansas City to
Louis.
oh, macam ni boleh ke? Gila kan? Then Kansas City to again I told you yesterday that only me can do this. You all cannot. You have to rewrite everything here. Then again, is it? Then now it's no more Kansas City. It's Omaha. Do you think this is crazy? If I give you, I purposely want to torture you in final exam. I give you 5 sources, 5 demands. Oh, crazy. Okay. So this is crazy, but this is nothing wrong. You can continue writing this way, no? You can continue writing this way. If you want to write this way, you will still get 2 marks. But there's another better way of sort of like define the variable. Oh, X3. Tak ada tempat nak tulis. Here I cannot write anymore. Then there's one more. You can continue writing in this way. Nothing wrong. In final, in exam, you still get 100 marks. Not 100 marks, the full mark for this. So this is approach A. This is approach number 1. You can use this. But there's another way that you can do is you define let x ij equal to amount of width transport from source I to destinations J. Then from here you write I 1 equal to Kansas-City, 2 equal to Omaha, 3 equal to the most. Write in full, write in full. And then J, A equal to Chicago, B equal to St. Louis, and C equal to Cincinnati. So this is another way that you can sort of like define your decision variable. Is it clear? Which one you prefer? Method 1 or method?
Why?
But if you use methods 2, if you method 2 seems like the approach is easier. But perhaps you need to refer to this when you try to derive the objective. Okay, what do I mean? So okay, let's go to the second step. What is the second step? Now you already define the decision variable. Done. This one done. The first step. What will be the second step? Develop the objective function. So what is the objective for this example? What is the objective for this example? Start with M, maximum, minimize. Minimize cost. So what is the cost of transportation? How are you going to put in the formula, a mathematical model? I want to minimize what? What I want to minimize? I want to minimize 6x what? 6x 1a plus 8. What does it mean? I want to minimize the transportation cost. Therefore, these are the transportation costs. Therefore, I need to write the formula according to the transportation cost. Plus x. What? Kenapa? Okay. Erase this one. What will be the next number I should put here?
10.
10 x 1 c, then plus 7 x2a plus 11 x2b plus 11 x2c plus 4 x3a plus 11 5. You see, this showing that I'm tired. 5 x3b plus 12 x 3c. Done. Objective function. Oh, now a bit crazy. Like in your what we discussed yesterday, the objective function, the most maybe 2 to 3 variable. Now you have 9 variable. 9 variable, no? Okay, so far understand? Understand. So you see, I did sort of like told you that when we want to solve linear programming, I'm saying that there are 2 methods that we're going to learn. In reality, there are 3 methods. There are simplex methods, graphing, and using Microsoft for Windows. QM for Windows, sorry, QM for Windows. But simplex methods, in transformation model, you're going to learn 3 things. Solving a linear programming, there are 3 possible methods. Simplex methods, graph, using a graph, using a QM for Windows. The question that, or the example that we discussed yesterday, you still can use graph, no? Sebab dia 2 variable. 2 variable you can use graph lah. Graph have 2 paksi lah. But when come to this problem, that graph is impossible. You can't use graph to solve this type of problem. Do you have graph yang ada paksi 9 paksi ada? Tak ada kan? So tak ada. So transposition problem, this type of problem you can't use graph. You only can use either simplex method. You're going to use QM window. So in this module, you're going to learn simplex and also QM. Simplex is crazy, okay? But not today, not today. So what will be the next we're going to do? This sort of serve like warning you, warning in the sense that we have one chapter on simplex. We don't have chapter simplex on mixed product. We take it already, but we have a chapter talking about simplex for transportation. That chapter a bit complicated. Okay, what we need to do next? Decision variable dah settle. Then objective settle next. Constraint. Same as what I told you earlier, the constraint is made up of 2. One is the constraint from the supply, one is the constraint for the demand. Let's start with the constraint from the supply first. Okay, so in order for me to write a constraint, what should I write first? Bukan.
Subject to.
Yes, exactly, subject to. Then that reflects that I start writing constraint. So I'm going to write the constraint for Kansas City first example. What's the constraint for Kansas City? Kansas City is sending the product to Chicago, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. So the product that sent from Kansas City to Chicago plus the product that sent from Kansas City, St. Louis, plus the quantity that sent from Kansas City and Cincinnati must be what? 150. What symbol you want to put here? You want to put, there's no place for me to write. You want to put A, B, or you want to put C? A, B, or C?
B.
B. Why you put B? B? Why you put B? The answer is correct, but why? Why not less or equal?
Balance model.
Exactly.
I
Answer correct. Balance model. So because the model is balanced, you must put equal. Kalau model tak balance, not necessarily equal. Sekarang the model is balanced. Why I must put equal? Because Kansas City produce 150 ton. I must make sure that this 150 ton deliver exactly all of the 150 to Chicago, St. Louis or Cincinnati. Tak boleh ada yang tak hantar dan tak boleh terlebih hantar. Terlebih hantar tak boleh kan? Only can produce 150. If I put less or equal means I allow Kansas City to keep some stock. I not allow. Kalau Cincinnati dia simpan stock, kalau Kansas City simpan stock, means one of the demand is not going to fulfill. So we must put equal. For this case, but for your tutorial, perhaps different case, you go and study. Omaha is for 2. Omaha is 2 lah. So it's 2A plus Omaha is 2B plus 2C equal to, must be equal. Saya tak boleh letak kurang. Kalau kurang, then it might end up that ada spare, ada additional benda yang tersimpan dalam store Omaha tak hantar ke mana-mana. So I must put equal. Semua 175 yang saya produce dekat Omaha, semua perlu hantar keluar. Exactly. Tak boleh ada yang tak hantar. So I put equal. One, tak boleh ada yang tak hantar sebab model dia balance. That's the moist X3A. Cukup tak tulis tak? Mungkin tak cukup lah. Must write smaller. This is the source. Demand is also the same thing. Demand at Chicago. Chicago will be receiving the wheat from Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. So Chicago akan terima daripada, where is Chicago? Chicago is C. 1C, 2C, dan 3C. Apa maksudnya? The goods that received by Chicago from Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines must be exactly equal to 200. Tak boleh lebih, tak boleh kurang. Kalau kurang, maksudnya one of the supply are not going to consume. Okay. Then sebab balance model. This is X. Why I put C? Nobody correct me. C is Cincinnati, Memang tak orang betulkan saya. Sebab ini C itu pun C, saya letak C bro. Saya nak Chicago. Oh, semua orang tak apa. Cakap yes tapi tipu saya. And then what's the number I should put here? 100. Chris, you didn't notice I wrote it wrongly, Cincinnati, Cincinnati. Sorry? X3C. Clear tak macam mana saya dapat number ini? Where I get this X1C, you see? C is Cincinnati. C is Cincinnati, Cincinnati demand is 300. Cincinnati is receiving the product from these 3 cities. Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines. 1, 2, 3. So, product that sent from 1, Kansas City to Cincinnati. Product that sent from 2, Omaha to Cincinnati. Product that sent from Des Moines to Cincinnati must exactly equal to 300. Oh, another 6 constraint. Ada lagi tak constraint yang nak tambah? Wow, 1248, how to discuss tutorial? Ada tak benda yang tak ada? Ada lah. You're very tired. You have class same this morning, is it? What time have your first class started? 8 ada ni. Patutlah semua orang macam. Oh, so there's one more. Cannot zero. Faham tak ayah? Nampak macam faham? Faham. Okay, then whatever that in the slide, in fact saya dah buat lah. So we have gone through the similar steps that we discussed yesterday. First thing, you must understand the problem. But the problem we discussed in this online class is easy to understand because there's a diagram to reflect the scenario. So, but in reality, perhaps there will be not diagram will not provided. Diagram will be not provided. Then subsequently, you define the variable. You have 9 variables in this case. You define the objective, you define the constraint, and then done mathematical model. Then you have mathematical model. And inside the discuss, this is a better way, even though the wordings may be different from what I wrote, but the meaning is the same. Okay. Then this is objective functions. Okay. Saya pun dah buat tadi. And these are the constraint with the additional constraint here. So this is also same thing. But it's similar to what I did. But what I did, basically I put the constraint example. I put this is what is that? Omaha, something like that. I define the constraint is come from either the source or the demand. And in the end, yeah, the model is developed. So this model we're going to solve it using QM. Later in week 4, week 5. Okay, we can search here in window. And then in subsequent, I think weeks 5, 6, 7, before semester break, I think chapter 7, we're going to resolve the same issue, same problem, the same example. We're going to solve using simplex method also. Simplex method. So we're going to continue see the same example again 2 times. One is in QM window, one is in simplex method. Yang ini semua saya dah discuss. The objective for transportation is to minimize the transportation cost. And the problem is every source has a fixed number. Yalah, setiap kilang ada fixed number, tak boleh lebih produce daripada apa yang capacity dia mampu kan. Dan setiap demand ada fixed number, dia tak akan ambil lebih kuantiti daripada yang dia boleh jual atau boleh pakai. Then because of this fixed number, then end up we have constraint for demand and supply. Then this fixed number could be equal. If the fixed number of the supply is equal to the demand, then we call it a balanced model or balanced transportation model. If not equal, regardless which is bigger or highest, then we say it's unbalanced model. The example that we discussed earlier is the balanced model. The tutorial you're going to do, I can tell you now, is the model that's unbalanced, not balanced. So, okay. Satu jam lah. I thought we can finish earlier and discuss tutorial, but it's okay lah, never mind. We can discuss the tutorial when I'm back on week 4.
Doctor,
Yes.
the unbalanced model got any difference from what you had just taught us?
Yes, the unbalanced model will be different in example here. Here. Example, the source is 600 and the demand is only 500. 500, okay? This is not balanced, unbalanced. The supply is 600, the demand is 500, unbalanced. Therefore, these three are demand, right? These 3 are demand, right? Correct?
Yes.
So, and these 3 are source, right? In this case, here cannot be equal. You read this one will confuse you. Sini senang sikit lah. Gambar punya senang sikit. Mana ada gambar? Mana yang ada gambar yang saya tak tulis? Memang I explain this to you lah. Duplicate. Okay, and then here I just erase this one even. Okay, example. Example here is apa ni? Example here is 150. So tak balance kan? 450. In this case, the supply is more than demand, is that right? Supply is more than demand. Then when I just give one example. Then when we're talking about the constraint. Talking about constraint, I give one example, Kansas City. Kansas City constraint is equal to x1a plus x1b plus x1c. Okay, then it's 150. Now I cannot put equal because the model is unbalanced. I put equal means in the end, the 150, I must send out everything from Kansas City, you know. I cannot put equal. So what should I put? I cannot put equal. No. Should I put A or B? B, exactly. What does it mean? It means that Kansas City is going to send certain quantity to Chicago, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. But not necessarily must equal. You can send equal or less. Why? Because you have more, right? You have more. Okay. All right. So this is the difference. So another one that another possibility is when the demand is more than the supply. In that case, that is very complicated. I just give a very quick explanation. If example, I should duplicate another one easier than erase it. Example, if now here is less, this is 125. So end up I only have, not balanced. In this case, the scenario will become more complicated. Not in your case. You have to add in a dummy here. Dummy source here. If not, you couldn't work it out. Dummy source. And this dummy source, the solution for dummy source is the indication that you need to get from alternate source. Okay. But we're not going to cover this. Okay, we're not going to cover this. Am I answering your questions?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So this will be a tutorial. So if no question, the next thing I'm going to do is for you to scan your attendance. Hey, where's my alamak? Okay. Bear with me short while. What happened to this? Share. What appear on the screen now? Alamak. Lock up what? What is my password? It's wrong, I think. Be aware that this view there is a problem of accessing UTM system. The number of systems that we're not able to access this view there. Management's slide in section 2. What time I start just now? 12, is it? Okay, go ahead. So siapa yang dah scan itu, you can sort of like, you want to leave, you can leave. Tetapi take note, there's no sort of like, there's no class next week. clear dah hari ni punya kelas. 1 jam saya tak suka sebenarnya.
Please, doctor.
Hey, I forgot to stop record is it? Alamak. Okay, stop recording. All right. So we've done what we're supposed to cover on next week. Then semua dah scan ha? Then there'll be no class next week. I've done this, so you need to spend the next week, the whole week to do the tutorial. Huh? So this tutorial, I think 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 tutorials need to get done, and you submit online. And we're going to discuss tutorial on 7th of April. We meet again the week after next. So these schedules need to readjust a little bit, but I think still no problem because I don't think I need to spend 3 weeks to discuss about QM window. 2 weeks is the most. So still can be bring back on track. So we'll see you again on the week after next. And we discuss the tutorial and then perhaps continue with the graphing methods. And remember to get your QM window installed. And our test will be on week 5. The test is going to ask about transforming, converting, or developing the mathematical model from a given problem. Okay, we're going to discuss more detail on week 4. Itu sajalah. 1 jam memang saya tak suka kelas 1 jam lah, tak efektif langsung. Okay, see you all next week. No, the week after next. Okay?
Doktor,
Yes.
kalau tutorial tu ada confuse boleh tanya doktor ke?
Boleh. Boleh, why not? Boleh.
Thank you.
Macam biasa lah, WhatsApp pada saya saja. Okay?
Thank you, Doctor.
No problem, see you a week after next.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor.
Saya pun dah lapar lah. See you.